Everybody, it's Omar. It is March 14th, 7:17 p.m. and it looks like Low Float Mania is back in business. Um, so really quickly, let me pull up my watch list from today. And I told you guys yesterday that there was going to be some very easy shorts. That Macy's was going to be a very, very simple short that people were going to take profit because they had such a big day. And we had our alert set here. We had one at 29.59. So when the market opened, look what happened. This thing went from 29.40 to a high of 29.57, and it closed at 29.55. And right in that next candle, you could have took a short, risking off that 28.59, and this thing just completely tanked. You know, you had over a point. And even if it had you missed this entry, we had another alert set at 29.28. So you could have took it short once it broke below 29.28, and even 28.96 is you had three opportunities there to take it short, and it washed exactly like I said it was going to do in the video that I made. You had this dip buy opportunity. Remember, when you get a straight breakdown like this, you're gonna get a dip buy opportunity. They call it like a washout long, where you just, the stock completely just tanks, and then you get the bounce because shorts are covering and dip buyers are buying real quick, you know, and it found some support like right down here, and then now it's towards the end, shorts covered, and it gapped up. But I called that out, and I told you guys that you had an opportunity to short Macy's at the open. I also said the same thing would happen with DSW. DSW not as drastic as Macy's, but when the market opened, I mean, you could have literally took a short, risking 21.90 if you wanted to, or even that pop. That you had this pop here in the pre-market, you could have shorted, risking off that high, and it just completely washed. I had an alert here set at 21.15. Even if you had caught it here at 21.15, you still could have gotten what, about 30 cents, 30, 40 cents, and then, you could have bought the dip. I had an alert, another one set at 20.36, which was yesterday's pullback and held. And it'll get back down there. It's sideways. I didn't put an alert, but 20.80 would probably be a good alert tomorrow, just to see if it can't hold that. I think it'll pull back and test that 20.38. I didn't put it on my watch list, but just something to think about. And I also said that ECYT was probably going to pull back as well, because people are going to take profit, because it had so many green days that I expected a red day. Sure enough, you could have took it short here at 10.45, where we had our alert set. It broke below 10.45, found support at 10.08, gapped up, but it couldn't hold above that 10.45. You could have reshorted it and took it down. And we had another alert set here at 9.63, to take it short. So I said a lot of these stocks were going to pull back to the CDS. I told you guys that, this thing had no volume. That was the unfortunate thing. I mean, it's just shitty. Like, had no volume, but I also called out that I expected this thing to go red. And sure enough, it went red, just like I said. Even 100 shares could have got you, $100 or something like that. ZSAN, I also said that I expected, wasn't sure, but I said that, today this could potentially finish red, and you could have short at the open. There was a lot of opportunities to take shorts at the open. We had 16.20 set to short that. So that's why I love, and I had RAS to go long at the break. I don't know how many of you took advantage of this, but, oh yeah, I had these dip below it. I had an alert set at that breakout of the high. So, tested it. That's why I tell you don't buy the breakout, because it kind of gaps up, pulled back right here, would have been a good entry. But test, and then it kind of ripped, but then it pulled back. But you could have shorted it at the break below this 46, which was yesterday's high. Would have been a very easy short to take down. So, there were plays. There were plays on this watch list, man. A lot safer than a lot of the other plays that happened today. Well, with that said, let's talk about the watch list for tomorrow. So, let me just pull it up here. Yeah, so low float mania is back. What I consider low float are stocks between 20 million or less shares. So 23 million shares is still, pretty low. The first stock I have on my watch list is Seed. Seed had this crazy green day, 12 million shares. This normally trades 347,000 shares, so it's had way big volume today. If we look at the yearly, the last time it had a big day, like for example, August 24th, it opened at 156, hit a high of 196, hit a low of 151. The next day, this pulled back, hit a high of 177, low of 161, close 166. Not much, but over the next couple of days, it retraced down. I'm trying to look to see, green day, next day, red day. I'm trying to see a big green day here. 2 million. Nothing then less. Cut it down half and half. Now, my expectation is see tomorrow, because at least from the 1 year chart history, maybe if I go back further, I may see something different. I'm just gonna be lazy right now. It looks like Thinkorswim has shares to short, believe it or not. Now, because of the chart history, this is probably gonna pull back and it'll be a great short tomorrow. So if you can find shares to short, look to short this tomorrow. If it holds 128, you can buy the dip. But if it doesn't, you can short it, risking off 128 or the high of 145. You have potential dip buys at 113 and 96 cents, but you can also short those breaks below of each one of those levels. Just got to be careful. So that's the first stock of my watch list. But maybe you get a day two continuation. Who knows? Because low float mania is back. It has to get this is the 200-day moving average. Simple moving average. You got to see, if you can hold above that. And maybe we get another move. I don't know. We'll see. Next up, KCPC. Now, this is a dog shit pump. Okay, this was at 45 cents. Okay, 2 days ago. It's at $2.80. Now, these pumps. All right, just so you know, this is something I gotta give Tim Sykes credit for this, and Tim Grittani from Trading Tickers. These OTCs, when they have higher day breaks and holds, they can move. But you gotta be careful because these are pumps. This is gonna eventually crash. So back last year, all right, back in December, this thing opened up at 148. First off, the pump started at 17 cents back in November, and it just kind of ran crazy. Then you had these big days where it went from 145 to 190. This day went from $2 to $4.88, and then on this day, the day after that, it went from $4.20 to $7.22, and then it crashed. So look, I'm gonna keep an eye on this stock over the next several days to look for the pump and then the crash. I don't think the crash is coming tomorrow because of this low float mania, and because in theory this is only the second green day since it looks like the pump has began. If this holds 280, I'm gonna buy it and hold it. But I'm not gonna hold that long because obviously this is gonna crash. So I probably may put a stop limit, a stop. So like if it crashes, I can try to get out. But my feeling is tomorrow is this stock is gonna go crazy because of the previous pump and dump. It's an OTC, and it's true. OTCs can run for days, even weeks sometimes. All right, when the pump is on, so the pump must be on. So take a look and see what kind of history you can see about this. Probably this is definitely going to be a pump. So I'm watching this. But if it pulls back, the crash happens tomorrow, look for potential dip buys at these key support areas: 220, 212, 155, and 103. Okay. But I think maybe tomorrow this continues up. So if it breaks 280 and holds, I'm in, man. All right. Next up is YTEN. Okay. YTEN. I called this out for you guys. Now I said that this was gonna squeeze. If you go to my Twitter, I even posted this for you. I was able to get home a few minutes early today, so I was able to pull the trigger on this. So that you can see it's all timestamped. Alright, and I'm no guru, no chat room. This is the stupid shit that chat rooms be talking about and be bragging about. I do this shit all day on Twitter for free. Now, this is what I said. YTEN long at the break of 244. If it can hold, it will test high day. So, I caught this on my scanner, right at the 240 level, right when it was right around here. And, when it was gapping up and consolidating, I quickly put my trend lines on there, because this is just something that I love to do now, and I'm just finding a tremendous amount of success. So when I caught that, you know, in this level over here, I put my trend lines here, and what I wanted to see was it hold that 244 level, um, because you know, it was consolidating and gapping up over that 244, which was at this time right here, like right around here. When I saw it gap up, pull back, and hold this level, that's when I got in, and I said, somebody had bought it, and I had this conversation with somebody. Who was it? Some dude here. Where was it? Um, shit. I don't know if it was this one. Let me go back. Just want to show you that this was all time stamped. That I was talking to somebody. Maybe was it this one? Yeah, it was. It might have been in this conversation. Ah, shit, I can't see it. But you can go back and look at it. I don't know why it's not letting me see it. I guess I have to sign in. But I told the dude that he had got out, and I said this is gonna squeeze to $3, and you can go look at it. I don't know why I can't see it, and it broke over 3. I got out at like 3:02. But yeah, you know, and it's up after hours. You know, tomorrow this can potentially continue to move. You know, so you know, you can see this is a flag for me. You know, when you get this high day, a good thing to do is always put your support and resistance lines. But you can also use trend lines. So sometimes what I'll do is like I'll take a trend line, and I'll take the high, and I'll go like, and I'll let it see if it's gonna break above that area here. So you put a trend line going across the support level, and once it breaks up, you get that squeeze and you go long. You know, that's like technical trading, you know, 101. You know, so right now, it hit a high of 312, and you know, tomorrow we may see a continuation. Now, if we look at the 1 year history here, let me pull up the big chart for you guys. If we look at the 1 year history, yeah, and this was I was talking about the 244 level when I said it was gonna hold. See, I saw it holding, and that's when I knew, like, and it took off. I was looking at a 5 minute chart. That's why it was harder to point out. But you know, this stock, look, back in December, it went to a high of 867, and last year, back in November, it went from 330 to 745. Because of that, you got to think that tomorrow there's a chance, and low float mania seems to be running again, that this thing could squeeze tomorrow and go crazy. So I want to look to see if it breaks above 312 and holds, take it long. Now, if that move starts happening pre-market, guys, remember, map out that pre-market high, because that is, if it breaks the pre-market high, you know, that's where you, if it holds it, that's where you want to get in, you know, when the market opens. Or if it pulls back when the market opens, you want to look for one of these areas to potentially buy a dip, or, you know, you short it. You know, if it looks like it's gonna die, but it can potentially buy a dip if it holds one of these key support areas of 277, 249, 226, 203, and 190. All right, so these are the areas that I'm looking for potential dip buys, or I can short, risking, you know, one of these areas, risking the previous area above it. All right, so we'll see tomorrow. I think tomorrow maybe this squeezes. This thing is running crazy right now. Next up is CHFS. CHFS, my boy Gustavo, shout out to him. He told me about this yesterday, and I told him that it needed volume, and the only way I would buy it if it broke and held 4. I did not, you know, and it did broke. See, it broke above 4, pulled back, and here you can see testing, you know, right over. I'm sorry, right in here, it's testing at $4, and you know, this to me would have been the safer play. He actually held, and he got a squeeze, and he did right. He was right about this stock, and look at right now, it's at 474. So props to him. So also, what was I gonna say? Oh, okay, sorry about that, guys. I got distracted. So tomorrow we'll see what's gonna happen here. I mean, a lot of the gurus have this on their watch list for tomorrow, so they may, you know, chat rooms may be pumping this tomorrow. Watch for Warrior Trade and Depth Mark Trades to be pumping this, and you know, some of these other guys. So you may see a squeeze tomorrow. All right, we'll see. So you know, if it breaks above 474 and holds, I'll take it long. If it, you know, I need to see some volume though. That, you know, doesn't have a lot. It doesn't have any volume. But tomorrow may be the day that we finally get that nice squeeze. So we'll see. All right. Next up is RFIL. Sorry, So there's another, one of those low floaters. See, these are all low float stocks right now. That went from 3 to 550 today. It's a little choppy, but I'm looking to see if it can break that 550 mark and hold, take it long. Otherwise, you can short it, risking off 550. Potential dip by 470. If you can't hold, you can short it. Next key level here is 439, and then 410. If it breaks 410, this thing gets back down to $3. And it does have a gap to fill below. So, this can be a great short tomorrow. It doesn't have a history of running. So, tomorrow this thing may just completely tank, and it may be a great short opportunity. So, keep an eye out on this. But considering low float mania is here, maybe it runs. So, but you just map out your key support and resistance levels to know to potentially take a trade. Next up, CERS. There's only one reason why the stock is on my watch list, because it is 1 cent away from its yearly high of 543. So if it breaks above 543 and holds, I'm gonna take it long. Otherwise, I'm not touching this. So be on the lookout for CERS. Next up, PTI. PTI. This is running after hours. This was on my watch list. One of the shitty things about Thinkorswim is that they the alerts are not triggering before and after hours for some reason. They say they're working on it. We'll see. But right now, this thing ripped. It hit a high of 878 after hours. Found a support at 486, and now it's running again. Tomorrow this thing could rip. This I'm just trying to see when the last time this stock had a crazy rip like that. It's had some days where it's moved, but we'll see what happens tomorrow. So look for a potential dip by 786 or 739 right now currently. Tomorrow pre-market, if this breaks 878, just keep mapping those support and resistance levels, and if whatever the high is pre-market, if it breaks above it and holds, take it long. Otherwise, short it, risking off that. Next up, DXR. DXR. Excuse me, sorry guys. There's a stock that went from $3 to $8. Okay, it had this crazy move yesterday. On the 8th, from 3 to 7, and then closed at 3. And then today, it went from 5 to 8, and low 539 closed at 780. So this is a volatile stock. So, let me put I forgot to put a high. Let me put let's put an alert. Put it here, 873. Buy breakout. It holds 873 for short breakdown. Yep, so there we go. All right, so these are the key levels that I'm looking at tomorrow. So if it breaks above 873 and holds, take it long. If it can't, short, risking off that level. If it breaks above 809, take it long. But remember, you gotta be careful because you got some key resistance here at 850. So it could potentially pull back at 850. So be careful. Next key support level is 770. If it can't hold it, short it. And the next key level for me that I would be interested in is 681. So if it holds 681, buy the dip. Otherwise, you can short it. Next key level below that, 605. You can buy the dip there. Otherwise, short it. So, this thing has range. So keep an eye on this for a potential short if you can find the shares. There's nothing to borrow with Thinkorswim. So forget about if you have Thinkorswim even trying to short it. Maybe E-Trade has. I have to check. Next up is SNDR. SNDR, crazy move today. Biotech, low float, 2 million shares. I mean, this shit has the potential to go nuts tomorrow. It's up crazy. Went from 10 to 14 bucks. So, we'll see what happens tomorrow. If it breaks above 1409 holds, take it long. I think tomorrow at the open, this thing washes. It's easy to borrow with Thinkorswim, believe it or not. Wow. That's impressive with it's 24 million shares. Sorry, I thought I said 2 million shares. 24 million shares. I think this thing pulls back at the open. You could potentially take a quick short on it, but this thing probably will have a dip buy opportunity and rip. So look for a potential dip buy at $13, 1241 or 1167. Obviously, you can short risking off one of those key levels. We'll see what happens tomorrow. All right, FDC is up. It's currently holding 15.99. The reason why I like this is because if it pulls back at the open, potential you could potentially short it, risking off that whole number 16 or 1620. I'm looking at potential dip buys at 1594, 1583, and 1576. Obviously, you can short off each one of those levels as well. Next up, Twitter. I tell you, Twitter's going 50. It's gonna go to 50. So if you have an IRA account, I would buy and hold. It's at 3680. So if it breaks 3680, take it long. I think tomorrow people take profit at the open. So look for profit taking at the open. You can risk off the pre-market high, and just be careful because it is gonna dip and rip. So at one of these key levels, it's going to bounce, in my opinions, or close to these key levels of 36.18, 35.95, 35.62, 35.31, 35.13. And obviously there's more support in these others. But one of these key levels, I think it's gonna bounce and run. But I think people take profit at the open, just like they did with Macy's today. So be on the lookout for that. And then last but not least, the monster, the juggernaut RKDA. Now I told everybody to stay away from this. When I ran home, I quickly took a short on this. Right in this, like, what was it? Like in this 30. It was like I got executed like right in this 3480 level, and I was watching it go down because it broke that key support of 35, and I was hoping that it was gonna test VWAP. But what I saw, like, it was gapping down, and it was sort of like finding its support here, and I saw the level 2. I quickly covered and I went long. I actually took a trade on this. I didn't call it out. I was too nervous, but I got executed at a little over $35, and I rolled this up all the way to $50. So I got out at about 50 and change. So I took a nice trade. I took this long. Squeeze shorts. Now tomorrow, I don't know what this is gonna do. I mean, this is ridiculous, right? And it's a low floater, and it was just squeezing shorts. That's why I was just running crazy. Now, can it keep going? Sure. Will it? I have no fucking clue. But if you take a trade on this, guys, don't trade more than 100 shares unless you got a brokerage that is great with executions like Centerpoint or something like that. Because getting filled, the spreads are wide. You gotta be real careful with trading a stock like this. I would really advise people to stay away from it if you're not comfortable trading. But if you're gonna trade this, just be really careful. Now, for me, if it breaks 55, 54.99 and holds, you could take it long. This thing could potentially, now if you go back, this has some resistance in $60 and some other areas. So let me just do like 3 years. Let's do like 4 days. So you can see on the yearly down here, it does have some support, like right in this $60 level. So you gotta see right up here, 57 and 60. It's 62. So it has support up above it. So be careful, guys. I mean, this was $176 stock at one time. So be careful if you go long. All right, take a quick profit. Don't get greedy. And don't let these chat rooms and these guys on Twitter, seduce you into taking trades on this. Most of these guys are lying, man. Don't believe the bullshit. Don't believe the people in the chat rooms. The gurus really like persuade them to post alerts, and most of these kids, they're losing all their money in these chat rooms. They want some level of validation by the guru for whatever reason. Like Tim Sykes students, like all of them fucking are broke and go broke in his chat room, but for some reason they love to post when they make $10, $50, $100 on a trade and act like they're winning when they're really just blowing up their accounts. They just want validation from the guru. I don't understand the logic, man. You guys are paying these guys money. Ask your questions. Make sure that they're not lying to you. And my advice, if you're gonna join a chat room, and if they're fronting like they're making all kinds of money, ask them to send you their brokerage statement. If they don't, it's because they're not trading. There's guys that I follow that I have some level of respect for. Some gurus lately, I see them trying to upsell their services by offering all kinds of bullshit like scanners that are included in like trade ideas. They're trying to pass off as if they're like these complicated scanners, and these poor kids, man, they just buying and falling for it. They're doing levels, they're doing everything. Everybody wants to be Tim Sykes, guys. They're all lying when they talk about, I'm calling out gurus. they are gurus too, just trying to play on your ignorance to make money off you. If they're always trying to sell you a package or sell you a scanner or a DVD, you know, think about it, guys. Why are they doing that? If you're paying for a chat room, all that shit should be included. Don't fall for the bullshit, guys. They're just trying to rape you so that they can get rich. They're getting rich off their subs. It just, I don't know. I just see like the kid. You know, these kids. They just don't understand, man. They don't understand it. You guys are getting robbed by these gurus. They're not even trading, man. They're just making money off their subs. You know, that's why they can travel and they can buy expensive shit and do shit because, you know, it doesn't take much to run a chat room. It doesn't cost much to run one, and they're just you know, selling you bullshit. Then they're just getting rich off you guys. So don't fall for the hype. I'm sorry, I went on a little rant. I didn't mean to, but I'm just it just makes me sad because these gurus that try to pretend like they have their subs best interest in mind, they're just trying to sell them more shit so they can continue to get rich. These guys were making the money that they claim they're making. They wouldn't even have a service. You know? They don't start a service because they're tired of seeing other gurus rip off. They run a service because they see shit. This guy's making a shitload of money off subs. I should do the same thing. That's all it is. Anyway, with that said, guys, just be careful with RKDA. My advice is to stay away from it. But if it can hold any one of these key levels below it, 48, 44.50, 37.07, or 29.63, they'd be good potential dip buys or potential shorts, risking off one of the other key levels because there's a lot of support in those levels. All right, folks. So that's my rant. You know, it just makes me sad because, you know, I see these kids validating these gurus, and they don't even understand that the gurus are taking advantage of them by trying to upsell them. You know, you're already paying a fee for a service. Why are you paying more money for more things? They just keep trying to sell you, and I don't know. It's just crazy to me. Anyway, have a good night, guys. So like, subscribe, and share. And you know, this I'll post this right now on Twitter and on and just watch the video on YouTube. Right? Have a great evening.